Morning, students. Welcome to today class. Today we will discuss naturalism in education. We will discuss definition, meaning, and principle of naturalism. First, we will discuss learning objective of our today's lecture. After going through this topic, student will be able to understand the meaning, concept, and definition of naturalism. Student will be able to analyze the principles and aims of naturalism in education. Introduction of naturalism. In education, philosophy of naturalism was a revolt against the stereotype education system and against the artificiality of life. Proponents of naturalism believe that it is a self-sufficient entity. According to them, naturalism or nature is the ultimate reality. Natural world is the real world. Nature alone consists of the answer to all philosophical problems. Naturalism said back to nature is the phrase to watch with naturalism philosophy. Naturalism believe that the nature and reality are identical and there is no reality without nature. It does not believe in spiritualism and supreme, super naturalism. They believe material world is the real world. Naturalism is a concept that firmly believe that ultimate reality lives is in the nature of the matter. The whole universe is grounded by the law of nature and they are changeable. Naturalism is oldest philosophy. The history or root of naturalism. Naturalism is the oldest philosophy in the Western world, which can be tracked back to Aristotle in 4th century, formulated by the Thomas Aquinas uh, 1225 to 1224. Naturalism is philosophical belief that everything arises from nature. These early philosophers subscribed to principle of empirical investigation that strikingly uh, anticipate naturalism. Herbert Spencer, Thomas Hobbes, Jean Accuse, Rabindranath Tagore. Naturalism as a philosophy of education was developed in 18th century. It is based on assumptions that nature present the wholeness of reality. Now we will discuss concept of naturalism. According to naturalism, material world is the real world. It emphasizes matter and the physical world. Values are developed from human beings' interaction with the environment. Naturalism definition according to Param Nath, Dr. Paramnath says naturalism is an attitude rather than a specific system of philosophy. According to Thomas and Lum, naturalism is proposed opposes to um, idealism. It is subordinate mind to matter and holds the ultimate reality in material, not spiritual. Because in idealism, we believe in spirituality. So, naturalism just opposes to idealism. According to Rusk view, naturalism is a philosophical position adopted by those who approaches philosophy from a purely scientific point of view. According to R.B. Brier, uh, naturalism is a philosophical generalization of science, the application of the theories of science to the problem of philosophy. Now we will discuss uh, main characteristics of naturalism. Nature alone is the entirely reality. Naturalism denies the exigencies of anything beyond nature. It says no to the supernatural phenomena. Naturalism has no belief in spiritual value. Values can be subjective and relative. They can be created according to situation, needs, and condition of the life. They believe scientific knowledge to the highest worth. Here, society is only an artificial structure. Individuals alone are real. It does not have faith in the exigency of the soul, God, and the spiritual world. It believes only in the existence of material world, matter, and nature. Here, senses are considered the natural gateway to knowledge. Knowledge can be comprehended through senses. Forms of naturalism. We have three types of naturalism forms: physical naturalism, mechanical naturalism, and biological naturalism. First, we will discuss physical naturalism. A student uh, studies the external nature. So, in physical naturalism, we studies the external nature. It explains human activities, experiences in terms of material objects and natural laws. lays more stress on external phenomena than consequous human beings. Nature has complete hold on the life of human beings. Second form of naturalism is mechanical naturalism. They believe regards man as machines. Mechanical naturalism believes in behavioristic psychology. They believe man as well as minds is matter. Science is only dependable form of matter. Third form of naturalism is biological naturalism. Biological naturalism based on the notion of evaluation. Darwin believed in the survival of the fittest in the evaluation. Biological naturalism believes that the life is ever changing, dynamic, and always developing. They believe, biological naturalism believe our survival depends on adjustment. The man who have uh, quality of adjustment, they will survive in the real world. They believe. The three principles according to biological naturalism are adaptation of environment first, second, struggle for existency, third, survival of the fittest. Naturalism in education. Naturalism has a great impact on theory as well as the practice of education. In system of education with naturalistic philosophy, there is no place for classroom, textbooks, timetable, formal exam, etc. Stands against the present system of teaching. Main tenets of naturalism. Reality and nature are identical. Nature is the ultimate reality of the world, have no belief in the spiritual world, regards scientific knowledge as the highest value. Next aim of naturalism is value are subjective and relative. One has to live in harmony with nature. Value are created in terms of the need and purpose of life. Naturalistic are against the complex nature of civilization. Next aims of naturalism, they advocate the inductive method where knowledge is gained through observation for the acquisition of knowledge. Knowledge is comprehended through senses. Law of nature are unchangeable and the whole universe is governed by them. Man is the offspring of nature, not a segment of society. Nature grows and evolves with the passage of time. Laws of nature are unchangeable and the whole universe is governed by them. Man is an uh, offspring of nature, not a segment of society. Nature grows and evolves with the passage of time. Important characteristics of naturalistics education. First important characteristics is believe that education should be in a strict agreement with the nature of the child. Regards education as a natural necessity. Whole of the learning comes from the experiences of the child. An important place is given to the concept of freedom to alive in nature without control. Advocate school education and it's against bookish knowledge. Censor are the gateway of knowledge. The child should be trained to function his senses effectively. Next characteristics of naturalism, naturalistic education is they believe in progressive education. Aims of naturalism in education, self experiences, struggle for existence, education ensure survival, enable children to adjust themselves to the environment, development of individuality. Education should aim to develop the individuality of the children without any interferences in society. Education for adjustment. Education help children in physical and mental adjustment. Education is regarded as a process of adjustment to the environment. Education according to the nature of the child. It means according to the capacity, interest, and age, and all these things should be considered. Education to achieve present and future happiness. Education should help to cultivate self resistant and value in children. Education should develop child into joyous, rational, and mature child. These are the aims of naturalism in education. Naturalism and curriculum does not believe in a rigid and fixed curriculum. Naturalism are not believe in rigid and fixed curriculum. They believe in born ability and strengths of the child. The child learn best in a natural setting. Feature of the naturalistic curriculum. Curriculum based on psychology and inborn instinct of the child. They believe in the study of the science subject. Due importance is given to mathematics and languages. Study of past experiences is give due importance in the curriculum. This because our present is identified by our past. They believe that history and social science study should be included in the curriculum. Naturalism advocate the inclusion of subjects in the curriculum that promote self preservation. In curriculum, there are no place for moral, religious, and spiritual education. After the curriculum, we will discuss method of teaching in naturalism. Naturalism rejects rigid teaching method, uniform and traditional method of teachings. They does not believe or favor classroom teaching. They believe give your pupils non-verbal lesson. They should be taught by their experiences alone is what Rousseau said. It lays emphasizes on learning by doing method. Naturalistics believe that child should be encouraged to discover things on his own way or on his own. They are advocate of the playway method of teaching. The Montessori method is one such method of teaching. Teaching should be joyous, creative, as spontaneous activity. According to naturalistics, observation, experiment in the laboratory should be important factor of teaching methodology. Naturalism and teacher. In naturalism, teacher play the role of the observer in the naturalistic education scheme. Teacher facilitate the learning of the child. Teacher should be able to understand the child and help in the growth and development of the child. Teacher role should be that of a stage setter. He should be able to provide material and environment to the facilitate the development and learning of the child. According to naturalism, teacher should be facilitator of the student. Now, and the end of our lecture, we will discuss merit and demerits of naturalism in education. First, we will discuss merit of naturalism. Then we will discuss demerits of uh, naturalism in education. First merit is it provide present as refreshing and humanistic attitude towards teaching and learning. Here, children are treated as equal by adults. Their personality and individuality is respected. Disciplines, they believe disciplines come in the self imposed from rather than by the constraint, correction, or harsh attitudes by adult interferences. Children share freedom as well as the responsibility with adults. Demerits of naturalism in education. It ignores the spiritual and moral side of human nature. This is the main demerits of naturalism because they do not believe in a spiritual and moral side of uh, human nature. It tends to are applicable to all the children irrespective for their individual differences. Sometimes it is not practical to apply principle of the naturalistic approaches to education in a practical situations. Naturalistic education practices are hard to follow in urban area. This is because school in urban area are crowded, noise, and are located in densely populated localities. This approach is not suitable for a vast amount of learning which is needed uh, in a short span of time. Sometimes It is not practical to approach learning at a uh, through experiences and unaided by books. So these are the main demerits of the naturalism in education. Uh, Naturalism philosophy of naturalism in education has its own merit and demerit. It provides freedom to the learner, which is unique. This approach has affected modern education and method of the teaching is in considerable way. It aimed to make teaching real, interesting, and meaningful. It is also does good to society by rejecting superstition regardless of all its merit. There exists certain demerit, and some of its suggestion might not be practical to apply. It tend to ignore the ideals and purpose of life. It bring everything to the materialism and give no place to spiritual values. Uh, these are the references of uh, today's lecture. You should go through for further more detailed knowledge of the naturalism. Now, time of MCQs. Who was the supporter of naturalism in education? First, Forbel, option A. Option B, Armstrong. Option D, John. Option G, Rousseau. So option D is correct answer. Next, uh, MCQs. Roche, who popularized the naturalistic philosophy of education in the Western, uh, belong to option A, the 17th century, option B, the 60th century, option C, the 15th and 16th century, option D, the 80th century. Correct answer is option D, 80th century. Next MCQs, believe that nature, filling the blanks question hai, believes that a nature and reality are identical and there is no reality without nature. Option A, realism. Option B, idealism. Option C, naturalism. Option D, humanism. Correct answer is option C, naturalism. Naturalism believe that the nature and reality are identically and there is no reality without nature. Next MCQs. It provides freedom to the learner. Option A, realism. Option D, idealism. And option C, naturalism. And option D, none. Correct answer is naturalism. Naturalism provides the freedom to the learner learn according to uh, own experience, according to own senses. Next MCQs. Teacher play the role of the observer in filling the blanks education scheme. Option A, realism. Option B, idealism. Option C, naturalism. Option D, none. Correct answer is option C, naturalism. The teacher play the role of observation uh, in a um, naturalism education scheme. In naturalism, teacher facilitate the play the role of facilitator. Next MCQs. It explains the human activities and experiences in terms of material objects and natural law. Option A, physical naturalism. Option B, mechanical naturalism. Option C, biological naturalism. D, none. Option A is correct answer. Physical naturalism. Physical naturalism uh, believe in activity and experience in term of material objectives. Next MCQs. Uh, who said that naturalism is an attitude rather than a specific system of philosophy? Option A, Dr. Uh, Premnath Paramnath. Option B, Thomas. Option C, Brooks. Uh, Option D, uh, RB Prairie Views. So correct answer is option A, Dr. Paramnath. Next MCQs. Characteristics of mechanical naturalism is A, regards man as machine. Believe in option B, believes in behavioristic uh, philosophy. Option C, believe man as well as mind is matter. Option D, all of the above. No, option D is correct answer because the main characteristics all A, B, and C. Next MCQs. Filling the blanks believe that children should be encouraged to discover things on their own. Realism, option A. Option B, idealism. Option C, naturalism. Option D, humanism. So correct answer is naturalism. Naturalism believe that the children should be encouraged to discover things on their own. Next MCQ. It does not believe in spiritual and supernaturalism. Option A, realism. Option B, idealism. Option C, naturalism. Option D, humanism. Correct answer is option C, naturalism. Because and naturalism does not believe in spiritual and supernaturalism. Thank you, student, for listening me patiently. Have a nice day.